Just last week, Major League Soccer made an announcement that their commercial arm, SUM Soccer United Marketing, has struck up a multi-year deal with Polymarket. So that leads us to the question, what is a Polymarket and what does that mean to MLS fans?
Oh, what a world we live in, Rob, where we have to learn what a Polymarket is. Now,
That's
I'm
not like the
on.
upside down pineapple thing, is it?
What is the upside down pineapple thing? I don't understand
Oh,
that. What's
polyamorous things.
Oh, that's right. That's a symbol. You know more about that. Wow, Rob, I didn't know you were versed. Okay, all right.
Well, it's
Anyway,
it's it's pretty general. I mean, the internet exists. I mean, it's general knowledge. You don't have to
well,
be into
that's
these
true.
niches to learn about them.
That's true. That's what I was going to say about Polymarket and about is it Kalshi? Kalshi? How do you say that one? Do you know that one?
I don't know that one. I like
Okay.
your attempt at unknown pronunciations. I
Well,
appreciate that.
that's another that's a Polymarket competitor, is my understanding. If I'm wrong about that, I'm sure somebody in the chat. Okay, Jenny's giving me a nod, and I trust Jenny. So Polymarket and Kalshi are effectively the same idea. Now, what is this idea? What is a Polymarket, Rob? Okay, what would you know about a Polymarket before we go into what it actually is on their website and is explained by Polymarket?
It sounds like some sort of a stock trading thing, but with a new techie spin on the marketing. That's what I
Okay.
would think at face value.
Here's what they say on their website. And we're cynical, we're jaded, we're skeptical. So remember that this is our viewpoint here. Polymarket is the world's largest prediction market, allowing you to stay informed and profit from your knowledge by betting on future events across various topics. Studies show prediction markets are often more accurate than pundits because they combine news, polls, and expert opinions into a single value that represents the market's view of events' odds. Our markets reflect accurate, unbiased, and real-time probabilities for the events that matter most to you. Markets seek truth. Okay, again, that's very positively spun by Polymarket's website, as you would imagine. I mean, the bottom line is this: you can bet. Okay, it's not how they describe it, right? That's not the framing is not betting, but essentially you can bet on real world events. So you may have seen, if you are very online, that people were making money on things like the invasion of Venezuela and the capture of Maduro by the Trump administration. You might even have caught the story that somebody made a ton of money by investing in that prediction just before it happened, somehow understanding that this was going to go down. Right? This seems rife for insider stuff in a lot of cases. I don't think that that's necessarily an issue if you're talking about on-field events when it comes to MLS. And honestly, I'm not even sure, Rob. You gave us the brief overview, right? When they partner with Polymarket, is that like some aggressive push of MLS events being listed on Polymarket in order for MLS to benefit in terms of attention from people making money on the events of Major League Soccer? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, per the news release on Major League Soccer or MLSsoccer.com, it is a Polymarket and MLS plan to work together to develop new fan experiences across MLS digital platforms with a focus on enhancing the live match experience and second screen engagement for fans. So I think it's to get Major League Soccer on more in the hands and in the faces of more people paying attention to sports, or that might be engaging in wagering, while also feeding the second screen need.
Yeah.
Whereas just my 2 cents is I would wish that Major League Soccer would be trying to get the product to the level where it would require only a single screen. That might be an old man take, but I would be trying to drive the focus on the actual product itself rather than diversion.
Yeah, well, that's not the world we live in, Rob. We just spent last week talking about how they dumped most of their editorial team in a bid to do other things with their website, right? Again, so this is the overview. If you're new to this idea, right? And again, some of you are not, but if you're new to this idea, this is the overview. You can buy and sell shares representing future event outcomes, and their example is, will TikTok be banned in the US this year? Shares and event outcomes are always priced between 0 and 1, I guess that's US dollar, and every pair of outcomes is yes or no. It's fully collateralized by 1 US dollar. Shares are created when opposing sides come to an agreement on odds, such as the sum of what each side is willing to pay is equal to a dollar. Okay. So you're basically buying shares in an outcome, right? And again, the money that everybody is putting in becomes the pool of money that you could potentially earn from this. Because if the outcome happens and you're in yes, then you're selling your shares essentially to make the money. Again, it's a very convoluted way to say you're betting on real life events, right? But instead of the house putting up money, instead of you getting odds from the house, it's all based on the pool of money that people are throwing in together. And it says, unlike sports books, you are not betting against the house. The counterparty to each trade is another Polymarket user. Shares can be sold before the event outcome is known, so you can lock in profits or cut losses. It's like, yeah, okay. So the market is moving towards yes, and I'm in a bunch of no. You can sell your shares if you don't want to see if the outcome happens because of your position. There's no house to ban you from winning too much. And so, man, look, I just think all of this is extremely shady and dicey from a from a manipulation perspective, right? If you're betting on, say, will Lionel Messi play in the next game, right? If you're investing in yes, and somebody in Miami knows that the answer is no, right? They're going to flood the market they're going to buy their shares of no. I mean, I don't love any of this, right? Lots of our viewers are saying that this is creepy and bad. I'm generally speaking open-minded about innovation. But this one, because of the money and because the idea that MLS is basically saying, yeah, watch the game, but be investing in real life events and outcomes that maybe aren't the same. Like even gambling, I think is troublesome in a lot of ways. Of course it is. Gambling is troublesome in a lot of ways, but it's established that, you know, I am presumably, barring things that the players are doing to manipulate outcomes, match fixing, which we hope is not happening, right? But if you're
But we're
betting,
seeing that across the world, up and
no,
down
I know, I know.
there's a lot of it. Even in Major League
Not
Baseball, there was a Guardians pitcher that just got in trouble.
that was manipulating pitch outcomes. I saw that. There's being charged by the government for that, right? And that's the thing, like, because of the unregulated nature of this, or because of where this thing is in sort of its development, if somebody does have inside information, if somebody's basically doing insider trading on real life outcomes on a yes or no basis, like again, will Lionel Messi play? As far as I'm aware, there's no investigations happening there, right? Is there a law right now? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't. Maybe this is happening and I don't know about it. But is there an investigative body? Is there an authority? Is there law enforcement who would look in to those things? Because again, that's market manipulation, right? Insider trading is illegal. Martha Stewart went to jail for it, right? Like, I don't know. This is all just very dicey. And it seems, again, like MLS has been caught in this trap of we got to jump on this thing that is the hot thing right now in order to drive some attention to our league. And I'm not going to say it's cheap heat, but it feels like that. It feels opportunistic and potentially troubling.
Yeah, just to be involved with something that is growing in popularity for good, bad, or otherwise, and long-term impacts, be damned for now. And I got a quote from the founder of it. I want any users in our audience of Polymarket, let us know if there's like prop bets, like weird stuff, or if it's just like outcomes of games. I'd like to know, like, I remember in the old FA Cup, that guy for a non-league team got in trouble because he ate a hamburger in the dugout. Like, is that the sort of thing that people are betting on, or is it outcomes? So I'm going to see if anyone has any insight for that, because things could get really weird if prop bets are involved in this. But Shane Kaplan, founder and CEO of Polymarket, has a little bit of this phrasing is a little creepy. Through our partnership with MLS and Leagues Cup, we can surface real-time collective sentiment around key moments. That's that part. Who talks like that? Okay,
Nobody
moments,
talks
matches,
like
and
that.
season-long storylines, giving fans more interactive, data-driven way to experience the game, engage with the world's most popular sport. But going back, just to say this out loud again, we can surface real-time collective sentiment around key moments. What?
No, who talks like that? Weird techie startup founders who nobody likes. Like, Nobody talks like that. And that, like, again, this is why this is where it's so weird to interact with Major League Soccer. I mean, why even include that quote? Why not look at that and go, this is not good. This is not human beings talk, how human beings talk. We're trying to sell people on doing this thing, and we're going to talk at them like they're, like they're, I don't know, Rob. It's all very dehumanizing in the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then it totally ignores the human needs. So we were talking last week about the USL and the players and low amount of pay, but that also can go up to Major League Soccer. These guys not everyone involved in Major League Soccer is bazillion quadrillionaire. And even rich people are, take bribes or are influenced by stuff that they say on the internet. So maybe a player, even if they aren't contacted about anything, but they, maybe they pop open the app and they see, oh, I'm favored to do this or that in the first half of this game. That's going to influence it, even not directly causing them to do what is in that trade, but it definitely is going to have some sort of influence. And people are already questioning the genuine nature of professional sports right now.
Right.
And this isn't going to do anything to uplift the faith in all this.
Look, I'm always wary about being grandpa, shaking my fist to the clouds and hating on development and advancement, and being somebody who sounds like I just don't want to adapt to the new technology, right? I think human history is littered with examples of people being resistant to change that ultimately brought good things to the world.
Yeah.
But this one is really hard. And then again, what you're talking about, Rob, is this general sense that instead of sports, right? I'm a fan. I love my team. I'm passionate about their success. I'm with them, in body and mind and soul and heart and all these things. It's now like, oh, this is essentially professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Right? They're just doing feats of athleticism, and I'm engaging with it in ways that aren't about the traditional ways we think about sports, and particularly soccer in our sport. Right. And again, I don't know, this is happening at the same time in parallel that we're celebrating things like what's happening in Chattanooga or Detroit or Portland, Maine, or any of these places where what you see is a community fully engaged with the team on the field because it represents who they are. And that feels like a wholesome, organic way to build the sport in America. Doesn't mean everybody involved is wholesome, but there's a sense that the people in Portland are attaching themselves to Portland Hard to Pine because it makes them feel good about the community and it gives them an outlet and all these things. And then on the other side of the coin, at the MLS level and obviously in other places, they're like, actually, what you should be doing is second screening so you can make some money on a prediction market. Like those things do not connect for me. Like that is such a weird juxtaposition that we're living right now.
And that's a bit of a jaded outlook too. It's like, maybe our product isn't center stage and the only thing we need to look at. Let's get all these other things surrounding it. But we'll see. We'll follow this and see what happens. And eventually, probably in 2 years, there'll be all these deep think pieces saying, oh, maybe that wasn't a good idea.